Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Who is Life Lab. It's good to have you here. So, in this channel, I'll talk about my experience in life in general, dating, and studying. Feel free to pick up anything you find useful. Okay, let's jump into the topic of today's video: taking risk in dating. So, what exactly do I mean when I say taking risk in dating? Um, it means that when you are texting to your potential date or when you are hanging out with your date. So you should try to say something goofy, funny, outrageous, not for the sake of impressing your date, but because that's what you are authentically feeling. So, why am I advising you to do this? Because from my experience, it usually leads to really good result, or at least it will help you to have a fun date at least, and at most you will find your girlfriend. So point number one, why do I why am I advising you to take risks? Because when you talk to her, if you try to play it safe, it's fine, that's okay, there's nothing wrong with it. But the conversation will become a little bit predictable and boring. But in contrast, if you say something that's really out of the blue, say something really funny out of the blue, it instantly make the conversation more alive, more exciting instead of boring. um, Many women I dated in the past told me that, like, texting, calling, or even meeting up in person with other guys are like interrogations with questions like, oh, what is your name, how old are you, where do you live, where is your hometown, blah blah blah, what's your major, things like that. It's very routine, and there's nothing to help make you stand out from the crowd. Like, in her mind, you are just another guy asking those same question. And I think that when you ask those questions, you will also feel kind of bored and not engaged, right? And moreover, beside of those interrogations, some guys will try to play it safe by being a yes man. Like, he will try to mimic or bend his preferences to her opinions. For example, if he say that he likes red, and she's like, no, I'm like blue, like the people who like the red color are very aggressive, threatening, things like that. And he starts to have second thoughts about his own opinion, like, on a second thought, I think that you're right, I like blue more than red. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but um, personally, I don't do that at all, because I think for most of the people, not just women, we go out on date to have another person to interact with, to find our boyfriend or girlfriend, not to find a puppy who always say yes and wiggle the tails to agree with us, right? So instead of asking those routine questions or playing it safe by being a yes man to her, what should you do? I think, in my experience, what I do is that I will try to say my opinion, something bold, something that makes her surprised. But it has to be authentic. It's not that I'm trying to impress her. It's just I just state the opinion and my preferences. So, for example, I often when I use the dating app, my first message will be something like, I will state my opinion. For example, like, uh first dates in the cinemas are the worst because blah blah blah, and it always ignite the conversation. Uh, for most of the time, me and the woman will start the conversation very energetically. We will talk, we will giggle, we will laugh, we will banter with one another. It starts wonderfully with full of energy, not just question that's very dull, like, how old are you, where you from, things like that. You see what I'm getting at? Or another version is that I would tell them about my version of the ideal first date. Uh, I will tell them my ideas. We will discuss with one another about our vision of dating, and I can assure you, don't be afraid of her not liking your vision. She may not like your vision, but she will respect you for having your own opinion and taste. That's what makes you unique. So be confident about that. Just state out your opinion, preferences instead of those boring routine questions. But I gotta give you a warning here. Don't be mean, don't be lecturing, don't be mansplaining, don't be obnoxious when you state your opinion. It's not like you are giving a lecture. You are out there to have some fun. You state your opinion, but it has to be phrased in a very light-hearted way. Be a little bit charming, naughty, and funny, right? Don't be like really rigid and superior and just standing on the high moral ground and just shooting opinion at her. No, don't do that. Okay, so that's the first point. If you take some risk to say out loud your opinion and thoughts, it will make you stand out from the ground. It will make the conversation more exciting. And the point number two is that if you say something risky, if you say your opinion, or if you say something goofy, it breaks the ice immediately. Like, just imagine, instead of asking those boring questions, you say something that is very funny and you make her laugh. So why am I emphasizing the word laugh here? Because when going out on dates or even just texting, usually the women are very cautious and anxious whether or not you are a reliable and trustworthy man. That's fine, I understand that part because it's kind of dangerous to be a woman. Um, so if you can make her laugh, it makes her ease up a little bit. It makes her feel more comfortable, and then she will be more talkative, and you guys will have a better time connecting with each other. That's a good thing for you. It's a win-win scenario, right? So, talking about goofy things, I once went to an art gallery with my one of my potential dates. So I just looked at a painting, and I interpreted it as a guy holding a stick and smashing into another guy's head. It's just my habit of saying outrageous things like that. It's not that I'm trying to make her laugh or something. It's just my habit, right? And this girl, she when she texts to me, she is relatively reserved and like very cool and headed. I don't know how to phrase it, but right after I interpreted the painting like that, she just busted out laughing like non-stop. And after that, the art gallery visit was a very pleasant experience for us. Like, she opens up more, she feels like she can joke around with me, and that date went really great. We had a lot of fun together. So it's kind of an icebreaker for you if you just try it. Maybe you will fail it sometime, but in general, it will make your date more fun. And lastly, this is the most important part because saying something risky or goofy will help you know how open minded and easygoing she is. Firstly, about open mindedness. So, when you state your opinion, for example, like the example I gave you earlier about me not liking to have first dates in cinema, You can observe how well she receives your opinion. So if you have phrased your opinion in a very light-hearted and playful way, but she still gets defensive and starts attacking you personally, then what do you think about her? Do you think she is comfortable dealing with different opinions? On a contrast, if she adds more to the conversation, she becomes more talkative, even spice things up. Do you think that's a good or a bad signal? It's for you to decide. And you can also gauge how easygoing she is. To me, relationships are meant to be fun, so joking around is usually good. So what's the harm of it, right? So if you say something funny and she doesn't hold back when she's laughing, she may even add some more jokes with you. How do you feel? I think that's a win-win situation, isn't it? Two people laughing and having a good time. What a great day, right? It's a steal for me. Uh, by the contrary, if for the most time when you joke she just look at you and showing disappointment, then maybe she doesn't like to have fun that much. Should you reconsider her? Maybe. So this is just a side note. I'll talk more about the role of humor in romantic relationship, because I personally value this trait a lot in my inner circle. So yeah, that's another topic. But let's recap a little bit. Why taking more risk in saying your goofy, funny, and outrageous opinion on dates? So my first point is that it makes the conversation stand out from the crowd. You are not being dull or routine or boring like most of the other guys she's talking to. Point number two is that it breaks the ice. It makes her more comfortable. She will have a better time connecting with you, which increase your chance in connecting to her emotions. And lastly, saying some risky or goofy things will help you to guess how open minded and easygoing she is. That's it for today. Thank you for listening.